In case you were wondering, those are tissues, and we'll talk about them later. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is my review of the Audio-Technica MSR7. Let's begin with the build. These are very well built and sturdy. They only fold flat, and they are over ear. Let me put the pads back on first. These are mostly built of metal and high quality plastic. The adjustment mechanism is really good. All metal. They mostly silver with red accents and a really nice brown leather headbands and pads. It also comes with a small carrying pouch. Pretty nice. And standard replaceable ear pads. Unfortunately, these are very creaky out of the box. And they're also, even now they are still a bit creaky, but it can be fixed with some lube. I use WD-40. They come with 3 cables. This is the normal 1 meter cable, and it also has 1 meter but without the microphone, and a very long 3 meter cable. But sadly, look at this tangle. The quality is really bad. It's not straight, it's plasticky, it's cheap. I don't like it. Well, at least luckily on both ends, they use a standard 3.5mm jack that everything uses. However, on the headphone end, the jack itself is recessed. So there's a couple millimeters of space in there. The cable would snap in like that, and not all cables have this lip over here, and those that don't, this won't work on this pair of headphones. The comfort. So right now I actually really like the comfort of this pair, but not so much out of the box. Out of the box, they have too much clamping force, and the headband shape is weird, meaning that after wearing for say 1 hour, they leave hot spots on your head. However, the headband itself in here is metal, so meaning you can just bend its shape to whatever you like to make it comfortable for you, and that has really improved the comfort for me. And the ear pads are pretty good as well. They are made of soft and breathable memory foam. They are not as thick as I'd like, but they're still pretty good. Right now, the comfort is almost perfect. Next is sound isolation. They are average. They block noise, but it's not enough for commute. So this might be due to the bass ports that are on the pair of headphones. However, this is still a close back, meaning that you can use it in, say, a classroom or office, and it will be perfect for those situations. It does drown out enough noise to not be annoying. Next, the sound. I really love how these headphones sound. It is great out of the box. Now, the tissue mod that I did can make it even better, but that's for later. I feel that these headphones are made for J-pop, Japanese pop. They are quite balanced, a bit forward, lean and bright. First, the bass. They are slightly, very slightly bass-light, but what's there is nothing less than exceptional. The bass is powerful, tight, and responds beautifully with EQ, meaning that you can add bass using software and it won't affect the quality at all. The mid-range is great as well. Imagine taking a photo and then edit it. You just pull the saturation slider up a bit, just a tiny bit. That's what the mid-range sounds like, really. Forward, sweet, and I like it. However, the treble is not really to my taste. Just like how there's slightly too little bass, there is a bit too much treble. Honestly, this is more about my taste in music than how the headphones perform. And again, it can be easily adjusted using software or modding. I listen to a lot of electronic music where hi-hats and cymbals sound great, but sometimes faster tracks can get congested and harsh, and some have a metallic tint. On the flip side, instrumental and classical music really benefit from the sparkle. Piano and violin sounds lovely on the MSR7. And also, thanks to the slightly elevated treble, the pair has a wonderful soundstage that is wide for close back and feels very natural. Everything is spaced out. There is a little bit of depth and really good imaging and separation. So let's try listening to some songs on the headphones. On some songs, the treble really is overwhelming. Feels like your ears are being tickled. But then there are, I don't know, classical music. Where the treble is really nice. And vocals, again, female vocals, they sound like so good. Like they are speechless here. It's so good. I love it, basically. Right. So let's recap. This pair of headphones have a bright sound signature. For most songs, I actually like it. For some, and for some of my favorite tracks of my favorite genres, it just doesn't work. Which is why I came up with the tissue mod. Okay, I did not come up with this. I just tried and it works. For this case, I just used a really thin piece of tissue because remember, it is just a little bit brighter than I'd like, and the mod would take it down a notch. Just cut it into shape and place it behind the pads. What the mod does is, again, it takes the treble down a notch, and because your ears are actually touching the drivers on these pair of headphones because of the thin pads, this will also make it a little bit more comfortable. Unfortunately, because there's less treble, soundstage and imaging takes a small hit. It is not as wide or detailed, just lose a bit of that. However, I consider this a worthwhile trade-off because the pair of headphones is no longer Sibilance. Let's proof. Let's try again. And to me, this mod makes the pair of headphones pretty much perfect. It still has this sparkle, but sounds so much fuller and like smooth, basically. So in conclusion, should you buy the MSR7? I'd say yes. Out of the box, maybe not so much, but not to me at least. Most people will enjoy this sound signature, but the comfort is not very good. Again, out of the box. But if you spend some time, play around with the pair of headphones, adjust the headbands, maybe do the tissue mod. If you don't already love this pair of headphones, maybe then after the mod and the headband bending, you will.